You okay?
We're gonna be fine. We have to do it. It's the right thing to do, and nothing bad happens when you're doing the right thing.
Is this your personal theory? Because I can shoot holes in it.
Well, there's exceptions to every rule.
Are we voting George Clooney for president in 2012? Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to my favorite website, RealScreenReviews.com. I'm movie critic Nick Iacobucci, happily joined by my returning guest critic, the lovely Debbie DeAngelo. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
And our next review is The Ides of March, which opened on Friday, October 7th, 2011, and it stars the aforementioned George Clooney, Ryan Gosling, Phillip Seymour Hoffman, and Paul Giamatti. This film comes to us from triple threat writer, producer, director George Clooney, and I guess it would be a quadruple threat because he's also in the movie. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my guest critic to tell us a little bit about The Ides of March.
Well, I would categorize it as a political drama in which George Clooney's character, who's governor, is vying for the Democratic nomination on the presidential ticket. And Phillip Seymour Hoffman, am I saying that name
Yes,
correctly?
that is right.
He is the campaign manager. Ryan Gosling is the press secretary. And it's a behind-the-scenes look at the shenanigans that occurred during a political campaign.
Absolutely. Now, right off the bat, I usually try and guess whether or not you like the movie, whether or not... I'm going to say you like this movie.
I did like it.
I like this movie, too. Now, I don't think it was... I don't think it's perfection, but I think it's well above average. I think, right off the bat, I would say I think the acting and the performances alone carry this film.
I do too, and you know, I would typically go to this kind of movie, but we don't typically review this kind of movie.
Right.
And so I went into it thinking, well, this isn't really going to be too thought-provoking. I'm just going to enjoy it. But it was thought-provoking.
It was very thought-provoking.
Because it made me realize that there are a lot of people who are new, you know, green, newbies, that go into politics for the right reasons. They want to affect change. They want to make a difference in people's lives. They don't want to get caught up in bribes and I'll wash your back, you wash mine. But once they get into it, they realize that the only way to affect change is that reciprocity.
It's to play ball.
Yeah, and you realize it's like a systems problem.
No, I agree. I agree totally. I would say that as the movie progresses, you come to realize that almost everyone is for sale. Mm-hmm. And everyone... And by the end of this film, I'm going to say that they violate and trample every attitude that they say that they're going to swear to protect, and they end up becoming what they say that they're not going to become. But I think the strongest point of this film, I think, is Ryan Gosling once again in a tour de force performance. After Drive and after Crazy Stupid Love, I mean, once this guy steps on screen, it's really almost difficult to look at anything else while he's on it. I just think he carries his film. Now, Clooney is, as I said, the writer, producer. He brings himself in a secondary character, and I think he did that intentionally as to concentrate on directing the film, which I also think he did a great job on. What do you think?
I do too, and I really believe that with a lot of these characters, especially Ryan Gosling's, that you see that it's basically they're good people making bad choices. And even with his character, although he has to bend a little, he's a little malleable to fit in and have a career and affect change, he doesn't do it to the same degree as other people. And I love it as you're watching this and you're listening to it and you see that, oh, these people are friends and these people are friends and these people have a professional relationship, and then they're out there and it's not exactly as it seems. You think you can trust no one.
No, you can't.
And they say, don't take it personally, this is a job.
Well, I'll tell you, what I liked about this movie is as it progressed, you didn't so much see the characters change as you saw them revealed for who they actually were. Like I said, they kind of masked themselves at the beginning. And I'll tell you something else I really liked about this movie. I read that it was based on a stage play. And even though the movie opens itself up and broadens itself, you know, from state to state and this and that, all the drama and all the tight scenes in this were like them in a room talking, three people in a room talking, or he would say, "Go get us a secure location," or him and Ryan Gosling and Clooney are in the back of some kitchen, and it really the scenes I thought that were the most intense were really confined, and that intimacy kind of felt like a stage play. I really felt more connected to the film itself, because it didn't seem like it was more on a broad scope, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about. I get it. I do get it. I mean, I'm not brilliant, but I kind of got that.
Oh, thank you.
But I also like the fact that they bring a little humor into it. There's a light romance to it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, at one point, I was a little... I don't know, let down by George Clooney's character.
Like I said, there's a little bit of a reveal, slow reveals in the movie that kind of bring to light aspects of characters.
Yeah, a little disappointed, not exactly what I thought. The only thing I disliked about this movie was the ending. And it's not so much the fact that what occurs, it's the type of ending that it is that I always object to.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and I kind of agree with that, but I think the movie ended the way that it should have ended. I mean, I would say that I would call this, as I said, I think I said this in another review, it's a non-Hollywood ending, but more of a realistic ending. And I think that even though it's not what we want to see, this is probably what happens from time to time behind the scenes. I don't know, I'm just...
Well, I guess maybe I missed something about the ending, and I don't want to say any more because I
Right,
don't want to
right.
give it away, but I was really dissatisfied with the ending. I went to the movie with my husband. I asked him, he's like, oh, I don't like that ending. I'm like, yeah, that's the only reason I'm going to dock it a half a star.
All right, well, I'm going to say something else that really propels this movie, I think, above normal. There's one, I would say, true and honest character, and I love Phillip Seymour Hoffman. Mm-hmm. I think he's the one character in this film that stays true to his roots from start to finish. And I love Paul Giamatti. He was the press secretary for the opposed. He's so wonderful to watch on screen. This guy he can do comedy, he can do drama. He really holds. You got Evan Rachel Wood, you got Marisa Tomei, and Jeffrey Wright. You got a well-rounded cast that really helps this movie immensely all the way through. I really like this movie. Like I said, I think it's just shy of perfection, but I really did enjoy this movie.
How many stars?
I'm going to say 3.5.
See, I would have given it 3.5, but because of the ending, I'm going with 3.
Okay, and I would easily see where you're coming from in that. I think I saw the movie with some Republicans in the audience, and they would laugh. And I wasn't in there from a political standpoint. I was in there from an entertainment value standpoint. And I wasn't there rooting or disagreeing with who we were supposed to be rooting for or voting for. But I think as straight films go, I think Clooney is really a very underrated director. With Good Night and Good Luck and Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, I think he's somewhat regarded as a pretty face, and he's such a talent. I mean, like I said, he wrote the movie, he writes
He's very talented, he's very bright, and he's a pretty face.
Well, we know where the probably from 2.5 to 3 stars went. He got a half a star for being nice looking. Well, I'd say this is more than a favorable review from both of us, with 3 stars and 3.5 stars. And
please go see it.
Yeah, I would say go see it. This is definitely, and I think at an hour and 40 minutes, it wasn't long. It didn't need to be any longer.
No, it was perfect.
It was really right to the point, and I thought that it was very well done. Once again, I think Ryan Gosling is just. I think this is his 3rd home run. Like I said, with Crazy Stupid Love, this, and Drive, I think this guy, at this point in his career, can absolutely do no wrong. Well, Debbie, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts and opinions. And once again, we'll end this.
Big lie. He doesn't appreciate it when I share my thoughts and opinions.
All right, the truth comes out. But remember, people, we're not always right, but only when it comes to the movies. And thank you for your attention.
Integrity matters. Our future depends on it.
Steven, don't do this.
I'll do or say anything if I believe in it, but I have to believe in the cause.